Okay, next thing we want to do is actually put in some photographs. Okay, there are two places where photographs are going to be inserted. I'm going to show you one very simple place first. Okay, that is not necessarily inside the post where we put in a lot of these really large photographs. I'm going to show you, just for the sake of simplicity, okay, first how to upload a photograph and then how to set the photograph in the featured image. The post is featured, okay, will appear in that featured slider. First step, we've got to actually add the photograph to the media library. Okay, so how we're going to do it. Inside the post area, okay, you'll see this upload insert area, okay, and any one of these buttons will actually do, even though they're labeled for specific purposes. It just makes it easier for people to understand that there are specific purposes that you can perform in the media library, like adding an image or adding a video or adding audio to the post. But to add media to the actual library, to be honest with you, any of these buttons will let you do it, but we may as well start from where it says add media. So click add media. Okay, and what'll happen is the whole screen will change. It'll go much darker, and this white sort of area will appear where before you were, it'll appear in front of the previous place where you were actually doing your editing. So here you see three buttons. Now if you wanted to access the media library, you'd click here, but what we're going to do is we're going to add media files from your computer. Okay, now I've already made, let me just scroll over here very quickly, I've already made a photograph of Binzi, okay, that will fit quite nicely inside that featured slider, okay, and I'm going to click select files, and it'll ask me the name of the photograph on my computer that I want to upload. So I'm going to click right here, okay, and on my Macintosh you click one more button, open, okay, and you'll get this slider that says it's 100% uploaded. This takes a different amount of time depending on the size of the photograph, and there it is. Okay, it's all done up for you. Okay, so I'm gonna make this here a new title. Okay, Binzi Gonzalvo featured, because that's specifically what I want to use it for. Alternate text is an HTML thing where if you have a text reader for blind people or for handicapped people, it'll actually read out what the name is. So we're going to just type this again, or I'm just going to copy it here. Now, type it again here. Okay. The caption is what will appear in the caption inside our website. So I'm not going to write featured. I'm just going to write Binzi Gonzalvo, but all I have to do is just paste it again and wipe out featured. Okay. The description, this is taken from caps lock, livestrong day 2011 Imperial Palace walk. A lot of the time though, these descriptions are not very important, but the captions sometimes are, and the alternate text sometimes are, so I would just get into the habit of putting them in all the time. After that, you want to just center this, and because we're going to use this as a featured image, we're not going to insert it into the post. We're going to use it as a featured image. Remember, this is all about the featured image. Now, a few words about the featured image. The featured image goes onto the featured slider on the front page of the website. And if you notice that, it's that rotating series of images and links at the top of our page, which I think adds a lot to the website, but it only accepts photographs that are in what we call landscape orientation, which means photographs that are wider than they are tall. If you try to put a a vertically oriented photograph, a portrait orientation photograph, it's going to do an automatic adjustment that puts it basically smack dab in the middle of the photograph and can sometimes be unappealing. It will sometimes cut people off at the nose and then just only go into what's at the center to try to achieve a reorientation of what would be a portrait photograph into a landscape photograph. So that's why I made this photograph specifically for this featured image. So when you choose a featured image, choose a photograph that you're pretty sure will actually turn out well in horizontal orientation or landscape orientation, which is what I chose this for. So I'm going to push featured image, and you'll see here, okay, that the featured image will actually start to show up in the background of where we were editing. Now, all changes are done. I'm just going to come up here to the close button on this editing window, close that, and we're back to the main area that we were before, and you can see that now the featured image is complete. Okay. Now I'm going to publish this again, okay, and make sure that it's in our members and news. Publish, okay. There, we saved our post. There's still a few things to do, okay, but it's no problem. You can update and save as many times as you want. And the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to actually put a photograph inside the post and show you how the caption works, plus the block quote area, plus the last thing you need to do to make sure that Okay, now just one more thing. Now that we've updated that, is that I want to show you how to make this a featured post. Okay, now a featured post, okay, is simply here on this checkbox. This post is featured. You've already set the featured post photograph, so you may as well click here for this post is featured. Okay. Now on the featured slider, where do you want the photograph to appear? Do you want it to appear on the left? Do you want to appear on the right? Okay, these are images. Okay, so you want to put it on the left or on the right. Just take a look at what it is that you want after you've published this, and maybe you want to switch it from one to the other. Okay, so let's just put it on the put the ping image on the left here. Okay, now if you have video, okay, you would put the URL to the video if it's coming out of YouTube, or the video embed code. That's a little bit higher up information, so I'm going to leave that alone here. Okay, the custom title is the large white title on the featured slider. So I'm going to write this: our Japan for livestrong, and back to this leader. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this. I'm going to take that from the custom title, and I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put that into the description text, and then I'm going to just write Binzi Gonzalvo. Okay, that will make Binzi Gonzalvo the larger white area, and the darker area our Japan Livestrong leader. I think that's a little bit more appropriate, don't you? Okay, so after that's done, okay, all you have to do again is just update. Then it'll save all of that information just put here in the post is featured. This will actually start to appear on the main website. But we've still got a couple of things to do, so I'm just going to cut this tutorial off just for the sake of brevity, and I'm going to show you in the next tutorial how to put in a photograph in the post, okay, how to put in the block quote, and I think, oh yeah, the excerpt. That was just one more thing I wanted to show you. I'll show you that in the other tutorial. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.